welcome. My name is Keisha, and it is that time of year again where we're gearing up for Boookathon, and I believe this is round 4. So, Boookathon, if you don't already know, is a spooky middle grade readathon that I started, I think it was last spring, 2022, and it's something that is very near and dear to my heart. Spooky middle grade is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I actually plan on having a video come out pretty soon that is why I read spooky middle grade. So if you don't know, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, just stay tuned for that. But today I want to talk about this round of Boookathon. There are so many fun new things for this round as far as graphics go. So I have rebranded Boookathon this time around, and I have a huge special thanks and shout out to Yvette from Leave Race Adores over on Instagram. She created all of the little ghosties that you will see on our graphics. I'm so thankful to have her as a friend. She is a huge talent, and I just love her enthusiasm for creating artwork. She does so many beautiful things, and yeah, I just had to shout her out so you guys could let her know in the comments down below how great she did at creating these ghosties. This fall's Boookathon is going to take place from October 16th through the 22nd, and I am going to be having some previous co-hosts come back and join me again this time around. So I have my gaggle of witches, and if you have been here since the last time these ladies were on, you might recognize this tagline for us. It's kind of our, the three of us, our little name that we have together, because I was trying to figure out what a group of witches would be called, and I was like, is it a gaggle? I was just trying to think of something cutesy, to say, oh, we're all here together, hosting this together, and I said a gaggle, which is actually geese, and funnily enough, Yvette actually came up with a cute little logo for us, the gaggle of witches, so it's basically 3 geese in witch hats. But without further ado, let me go ahead and tell you who these lovely ladies and some of my best friends are that are co-hosting with me, and that is Gwen from Gwendolyn Kinsinger here on YouTube and Lavender Mud over on Instagram. I also have Gabby from Gabbing About Books, and that is her handle here on YouTube as well as over on Instagram. We are very excited to be back in the swing of all things spooky and fall, so let me go ahead and tell you a few more details of this readathon. Every round of Boookathon, we choose a group read to read together, so it's basically like a giant buddy read. You don't have to read it, but if you want to, it's always fun. We do a discussion about the book. We have a Discord where you can discuss the book before you go on the live discussion, so if you want to talk about anything there, you can submit discussion questions and things like that. And this round's book is going to be The Bellwoods Game by Celia Crampion. This is a recent spooky middle grade release, and I knew this had to be a choice when I heard it pitched as being great for fans of Small Spaces as well as Doll Bones. So Small Spaces is a series by Catherine Arden that I absolutely love, and then Doll Bones is by Holly Black, which is also a really great spooky story. So that is really what drew me into this one, as well as this stunning cover. I ended up getting the Owl Crate Jr. edition of this one because I wanted that box that had all of my favorite spooky middle grade books and authors featured. So I have a special edition also, which makes me so happy. This one is essentially about a haunted woods and this game that these kids play. It's also highly illustrated, which is another perk and something I think shouldn't just be in middle grade books, but in all books. We all love a good illustration. So those are kind of some highlights of the book. But if you want to know a little bit more about it, I will go ahead and read the synopsis for you. Everyone knows Fall Hollow is haunted. It has been ever since Abigail Snook went into the woods many years ago, never to be seen again. Since then, it's tradition for the 6th graders at Beckett Elementary to play the Bellwoods Game, in which 3 kids are chosen to go into the woods on Halloween night. Whoever rings the bell there wins the game and saves the town for another year. But if Abigail's ghost captures all the players first, the spirit is let loose to wreak havoc on Fall Hollow. Or so the story goes. Now that it's Bailey's year to play, she can finally find out what really happens. And legend has it, the game's winner gets a wish. Maybe, just maybe, if Bailey wins, she can go back to the way things used to be before her grandma got sick and everyone at school started hating her. But is Abigail's ghost really haunting the Bellwoods? One thing's for sure, something sinister is at play, waiting for them all in the woods. So that is The Bellwoods Game by Celia Crampion. Again, that is going to be our group buddy read if you would like to join us for that. Now I'm going to go ahead and go into the reading and photo prompts. We always have 3 of each. You can participate in these as much or as little as you like. If you just read one spooky middle grade book, then you are participating in the Readathon, and we would love to have you. But if you want to add a little bit more fun into the mix, we have these 3 reading prompts. The first one is going to be read a book with a bird on the cover. So there are tons of spooky middle grade books that have ravens or crows or owls or just really creepy birds in the sky on the cover. So we felt like that was a good, well-rounded prompt to have. Prompt number 2 is to read a book featuring a word associated with death in the title. So this can be ghost, ghoul, bones, skeleton, what else could there be? Grave or graveyard or something to that effect. So anything that you consider to be a word associated with death, and it could be the word death itself or dead or anything. It's like there's so many different words that it could be, but basically that's the prompt. So if you have a title with any of those types of words, then that would fit for this prompt. And the final prompt is to read a book set in autumn. This is a pretty simple one. Most spooky middle grades, or a lot of them, are set during the fall. So if you just flip through the first couple pages of your book, if you don't have a book on hand to do this with, I find that going on Amazon or Goodreads, you can preview the first few pages and you can typically find out. But if the book is set in fall or autumn or around Halloween, it's usually going to tell you. So I would say if it tells you a month, it's like September, October, November, I would just go ahead and count that. Moving on to the photo prompts, you can post these on your Instagram account or you can share them on Discord, whichever you prefer. I am going to have that Discord link linked down below. I have mentioned it already because you can do the book discussion with that. You can do the photo prompts with that. We're also going to have something else you can do featured in the Discord. It's just a good way for us all to connect during the readathon. The first photo prompt is going to be just your Boookathon TBR. However you want to lay that out, just show us what you're going to be reading for this readathon. The second prompt I really love. Gwen came up with this idea and I don't know why I didn't think of it before. We've kind of adapted the sheet ghost as our fun thing to do in our reels when we are hyping up Boookathon. So I'm really excited to say that this prompt is going to be sheet ghost. So you can dress up as a sheet ghost in this photo. You can dress your pet up in a sheet ghost. If you don't have a pet and you don't want to put a sheet on your head, put it over a lamp. Put it over, well, if you put it over a lamp, just be careful not to leave it there too long because I'm sure it's probably not good for it to get hot, but put it over a plant. Do whatever you want, but I love this sheet ghost prompt, so I'm glad that we incorporated that in. And the last prompt is book stack character. So this prompt is very much inspired by my inner children's librarian. I used to be a children's librarian and I loved creating displays at the library, and one thing that I always loved doing was creating different book stack characters. I did this for Halloween, Christmas, I did a Dr. Seuss one, I did some little bunnies for Easter, so there is no end to what you can create with a book stack and a little bit of construction paper and maybe a little bit of tape. But this is whatever you want to interpret it as. So you could do something autumnal, you could do something like Halloween. So I'm going to pop some pictures up on the screen so you can kind of get an idea of what this means. So you're just going to take a picture of a book stack that looks like something like this. It could be a ghost, Frankenstein, a witch, a pumpkin. You could go different and do, like I said, I did rabbits for Easter before, but like any character you want to try to create with the book stack, that is what's going to be for this prompt. Now I want to talk about a few of the events that we're going to be having throughout the week. So we are going to kick off the Readathon with reading sprints on my channel on the 16th. These, as well as every other event that we're going to have, is going to be at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, again on my YouTube channel. So we're going to just come together and kick off the reading on reading sprints, and I'm really excited for that, as well as on the 19th. Now, this is different than what we've done in the past. On Thursday the 19th is when we're going to have our book discussion live show for the Bellwoods game. That is also going to be on my channel at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, we've typically done this on Sunday or at the end of the readathon, but this time we've had a little bit of scheduling conflict, so we wanted to do it on Thursday. So if you're going to read the Bellwoods game with us, start a little bit early if you need to, or just make sure it's the first book that you complete for the readathon. That way you have it read in time for our book discussion on Thursday. And on the last night of the readathon, to wrap it all up, we're going to end on Sunday the 22nd with a family movie night. So this is going to be a kid-friendly movie that we're all going to watch. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to watch yet. It's probably going to be a backlist movie, not a newer one. And it just depends on what streaming service everybody wants to use and what most people have. I feel like most people tend to have Netflix, so it's probably going to end up there, but I have Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, so it kind of just depends. We'll do a poll on this in the Discord, as well as potentially a poll on the movie, and pick that out as well. I'm not committing just yet to a specific date and time, but I know that we have some international friends that participate in the Readathon, and I really want to host reading sprints for you as well. So I may try on that Saturday or Sunday to do daytime reading sprints so you guys can join as well, and I will have an announcement about that closer to the time that the Readathon is happening, because it's kind of going to be a little impromptu. And finally, I have one more surprise for all of you. This last round of Boookathon, you guys may remember that Rachel from Happy Go Lovely Sleeves created this cute, spooky, like ghost kitty book sleeve for us. Rachel does really great book sleeve designs. These have pockets and they're very thick and sturdy. They are great for your middle grade books. They typically will fit any, like this is a hardcover, and this one fits really snug in here. These are just to keep your book safe if you are traveling, or if you want to put a book in your purse or your bag. So this holds your book. I love these designs from the last time around. The Ghost Kitty definitely screams spooky middle grade to me. She also made the little happy corners. I always want to call them cozy corners, but they're bookmarks. So obviously a bookmark is to mark your place in the book. You just slide the little corner on and then you have your bookmark. So those were the ones that were created for this past round of Boookathon, but we have a new design for this time around and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Introducing the Magical Toad book sleeves. These are so cute. I've had this design in my pocket for a while, wanting to do this one for this round of Boookathon. I love the purple. I love the cute little magical toad with the little witch hat. It is very whimsical and screams spooky middle grade for me, but also I feel like it has a cottagecore vibe, which I'm also loving. These are going to be midi size book sleeves, which like I said, is going to be this size, which will fit a middle grade hardcover. It'll fit most paperbacks as well. These are going to be $24, and then she's also going to have the cozy corners, and those are going to be $6. So obviously I have the design popped up on the screen here. I don't have my sleeve. It hasn't come in the mail yet, but it probably will today because I'm filming today. That's typically the way this works. But I love these so much. Highly recommend getting your hands on them if you like them. So you can go to Rachel's website down below. The pre-orders actually start today if you're watching this, as it premieres on September 18th. This is going to be the start of the pre-orders for these, and pre-orders are going to run for X amount of time. But if you want your book sleeve and your happy corner before or by Boookathon start, you will need to order by September 30th. And friends, I think that is going to be it for this round of Boookathon. I'm so excited to be hosting another round with Gwen and Gabby, and I'm so glad to have found some kindred spirits who also love spooky middle grade with me. If you're out there and you've got this far in the video and have never read spooky middle grade before, I hope that we can pique your interest in just trying it. There is so much merit in spooky middle grade, even for us as adults, so I highly recommend checking it out. And also, if you've made it this far in the video, if you want to let us know if you're going to be participating in the Readathon, go ahead and leave a little ghosty emoji down below. If you're not going to be participating in the Readathon, but you just want to show support, you can post a fall leaf emoji down below. But thank you all so much for watching. I always appreciate you guys. God bless you, and I will see you in a new video very soon. Bye, friends.